No, y'all have 10 Mississippis, and I'm out here. And I left. I left. I was like, no.
Yeah.
My mind is clicking. It's like, oh, hell no. This is going to be...
Joe, was it?
I don't see people. I'm like...
Nah, they messing with Joe, man. They on Joe.
Pass.
You got to see. It's entertaining. I don't know what else to say.
I was in the club and...
Got to see.
Dude went over it. Yeah. And I remember, hey, bro, this happened.
Let me see.
When I was 18.
Yeah.
You was a part of a situation. I was a part of a situation. Guns were fired. Your people didn't survive. Let's not do this now, bro. You got children. I got children.
Yeah, we survived.
We survived. But make no mistake, I still got to go home today, too.
Yeah, I got it. There you go. I'm in love.
So I generally don't go to that area.
Yeah. Have you made peace with, if you've had all this success, you got this beautiful family, a bunch of kids, this great career. Do you feel like
I gotta get Joe. I gotta get Joe pulled up for y'all, because Joe,
have you mentally
they messing with Joe.
Being okay if something happens to you?
See, you gotta watch who you like, who you going in and who posted it. Like, I don't be messing with right channel, but Joe went to Joe Harris, what is it, Harris something, Pennsylvania. Anyway, Joe went to a predominantly black church in whatever it is. And Joe say he need all the black folks vote. That what Joe say. Joe pulled one with it. I'm sure. Hold on, I gotta find it. And Joe let people speak for him this time. Like Joe didn't try to do the whole thing. Joe talked for like 10 minutes, and then it's people y'all don't even know that's on there, and they talking for Joe. Hold on, let me find this. I'm not tripping. Hold on. No. Yeah, you. That's okay. That's the name. That's in the joke. I found out. Hold on. It's gonna pull up. I got it. I see it. It's gonna pull up. Remember. No, that's that dude. Joe say he need more sleep. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's that part.
What are your plans?
The lie on Joe Biden.
Why?
Because Joe is trying to say stuff, bro, but he can't get it out. You gotta watch him. It's like
you live.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was what I'm saying.
Talking your own house.
You gotta watch Joe though. Cut Joe on, bro. Just listen to what he did today. Hold on, is this it? Let me see. Yeah. That's it.
Feeling tied down by your office lease? Can't seem to fill your workspace? Introducing KG'z Flex.
Joe entertains me. I can't help it. All right, hold on.
Don't buy another pair of glasses until you've seen what this new invention is.
I don't want to see.
These self-adjustable glasses are taking the world by storm.
My name's Joe Biden. I'm Joe Biden.
Hold on. This is how Joe came out.
And I feel like every time I come back to Pennsylvania, I feel like I'm coming home. But you know, I was born and mostly raised in Scranton.
Remix that boy.
My name is Felicia Spriggs Wilkerson. I am the president of AFSCME's Local 3130, as well as the District Council 90 Advisory Board for AFSCME. It is my honor and my privilege to ask you all to help me welcome the President of the United States, President Joe Biden.
My name's Joe Biden. I'm Joe Biden's husband. And I feel like every time I come back to Pennsylvania, I feel like I'm coming home. No. I was born and mostly raised in Scranton, as we say in Scranton. And I married a Philly girl, Julie from Philly. But I tell you what, after I went to a local parade, in a little place called Hogg in Delaware, right on the Pennsylvania border after our son had passed. And I was sitting at home thinking it was his favorite parade. So I decided just to go into it. And I was walking along in this small community, and 4 guys about your size came running up to me. I thought the Secret Service was going to kill them. And they came running up. Swear to God, true story. I said, Joe, what's all this damn stuff about Pennsylvania? You're from Delaware. You're from Delaware. Yeah, but it never leaves you. Never. Anyway, thank you. Look, folks, I make no apologies for being the most pro-union president in American history. No, I mean it. You've heard me say it before, but I'll say it again and again and again. The middle class built this country, not Wall Street. And guess what? Unions built the middle class. And I know how to say unions. It's amazing how a lot of people talk about labor. Unions. Asked me to be with me my entire career, and I've been with you my entire career. And by the way, I know there's a lot, we have a lot to talk about. I'm not going to make a campaign speech now, but just to say 2 things. One of the things we're going to change in the second term is we're going to have a fairer tax system. We got a little fair. We made those 55 companies that didn't pay a penny in taxes and made $40 billion. We made them pay, but it's only 23%. So they're not paying, 15%, they're not paying enough. Out there, literally, you got 1,000 billionaires in America. Up to 1,000 billionaires.
Joe keeps saying about these 1,000 billionaires too. He need to put a list out, do something, because I don't know where the information coming from. But Joe talking normal on this one. I don't know if it's hold on, let's keep watching, because he might not stay talking right. Joe just tripped, but he 82. He gon' stutter sometime.
And guess what? Unions built the middle class. And I know how to say unions. It's amazing how a lot of people talk about labor. Union.
Joe say he know how to say union.
Asked me to be with me my entire career, and I've been with you my entire career. And by the way, I know there's a lot, we have a lot to talk about. I'm not going to make a campaign speech now, but just to say 2 things. One of the things we're going to change in the second term is we're going to have a fairer tax system. We got a little fair. We made those 55 companies that didn't pay a penny in taxes and made $40 billion. We made them pay, but it's only 23%. So they're not paying, 15%, they're not paying enough. You got out there, literally, you got 1,000 billionaires in America. Up to 1,000 billionaires. You know what their average tax rate is? 8.3%. Well, no, but here's the point I want to make, Joe. This is very serious. I'm not joking about this
8.3%
The fact of the matter is,
8.3
billionaires in America. You got out there, literally, you got 1,000 billionaires in America. Up to 1,000 billionaires. You know what their average tax rate is? 8.3%.
8.3%.
Well, no, but here's the point I want to make, Joe. This is very serious. I'm not joking about this one. The fact of the matter is, Trump wants to give him another, and he's said it, a $5 trillion tax cut over the next 5 years. No, I'm not joking. You know what we're going to do? We're going to stop it, and we're going to spend that money on child care.
Spend the money on reparations. How about that? You give reparations, all the black folk in America can pay for their child care, Joe. You, Kamala, Trump, all y'all. Just reparations, Joe. I'm trying to tell it. He done already went, and now he got this had to be a move because this like all the black community except for this little white lady right there. Or is this the one? No, he in the other one too. He gonna be in another one, in like a church. Yeah, he gonna be in the church. Hold on.
Send that money. No, I mean it. Or send that money on elder care. We're gonna look, folks. All of those things that people gave me credit for, or the critics said Biden's just a big spender. And first of all, we ended with actually a little bit of a surplus. But guess what? That other guy had the largest deficit any president ever had in history. But here's the deal.
Other guy. Joe said that other guy. Joe said the other guy.
I asked the Treasury Department to do a study. With all my pro-union stuff and organizing and marching and being on picket lines with y'all, is that good or bad for the economy? When unions do well, the entire economy and everybody's non-union does better. Everybody.
Just reparations, Joe.
So I really mean it. I came to thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're the most powerful country in the world. We have the best economy in the world, but now we got to make sure that we start taking care of the families like Jill and I grew up. Jill's from Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. I'm from Wilmington area.
Wait a minute, Joe.
Unions do what?
When Joe get to trying to talk fast, it all go together. It's part of being 82.
Well, the
something about Jill.
Entire economy and everybody's non-union does better. Everybody.
Right.
So I really mean it. I came to thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're the most powerful country in the world. We have the best economy in the world, but now we got to make sure that we start taking care of the families like Jill and I grew up. Jill's from Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. I'm from Wilmington area. And I tell you what, we lived in she had 5 sisters in a 4-bedroom split level house. I had 4 kids and my family in a 3-bedroom house with a grandpa living with us. Small house. I wonder how my mom and dad did it now looking at it.
Joe just described probably about 80% of black families in America. He just said his wife had a 4-bedroom. Did she have a 4 or a 5-bedroom? And he had a 4-bedroom.
I had 4 kids and my family.
No, Joe, you didn't have 4
house.
Kids. Your parents had 4 kids, but we know what you meant.
Jill's from Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. I'm from Wilmington area. And I tell you what, we lived in she had 5 sisters in a 4-bedroom split level house.
Okay, so she had 5 sisters in a 4-bedroom. She had a 4-bedroom, 5 sisters. This is what black people, we used to. This is no big deal. Joe saying this like it's just terrible. That's a room. You got 4 bedrooms and 5 siblings. Somebody gonna double up and the parents gonna have a big ass master. And Joe is saying this like this is poverty. 4 bedrooms. Watch, listen. this how far removed these dudes is from
best economy in the world, but now we got to make sure we start taking care of the families like I grew up. Jill's from Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. I'm from Wilmington area. And I tell you what, we lived in she had 5 sisters in a 4-bedroom split level house. I had 4 kids and my family in a 3-bedroom house.
Okay, you had
grandpa
3 bedrooms
living with us.
Oh, and your grandpa.
House. I wonder how my mom and dad did it now looking at it. But the point is,
he say he wonder how his mama and daddy did it. They had a 3-bedroom house, that nice ass house. Grandpa lived with them. That's black people. We do that all the time. Grandpa, auntie, cousins, siblings. Joe say his dad just tell he don't know how his parents did it. It's crazy, man.
You know, at the end of the month, my dad used to say, Joey, a paycheck's worth a lot more than the amount of money you have. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about whether you're able to look your kid in the eye at the end of the month and say, honey, we're going to be okay. We're going to mean it. Folks, there's a lot of people still struggling because since we ended the pandemic, well, I'll be very blunt, since I ended the pandemic, he didn't. Corporate profits have doubled. And we got to do something about it. And one of the things, you know, the first bill that I got passed, and I didn't have a Congress to continue it, I made sure that we had payments for child care. per child. And guess what? Based on income. And guess what? We cut child poverty in half. And the economy grew. When we have child care, guess what? Mom or dad can go to work and earn money. It grows the economy. This isn't wasting money. It's growing the economy. Well, I'm getting too wrapped up here. Anyway, there's a lot we can do.
Send the money.
I go all the way back to McEntee when you think I'm kidding, I'm not. I got elected in large part because of AFSCME in my home state, in the home state of Delaware. So we got a lot to do, folks, but we can do it. We're on the cusp of getting so much done. I really mean it. And with your help, I know you have your help. With my help, helping us working together, we're going to get a hell of a lot done for the American people. And we're going to make sure these things are. So anyway,
what?
I guess if I stand with my help, helping us working together, we're going to get a hell of a lot done for the American people. And we're going to make sure these things are.
What?
So anyway, hell of a lot done for the American people. And we're going to make sure these things are. So anyway.
No, Joe, you got to.
With my help, helping us working together, we're going to get a hell of a lot done for the American people. And we're going to make sure these things are. So anyway.
Joe he just stopped in the middle. He couldn't say it. And he say, but anyway, he was saying something. I'm not tripping. Hold up.
American people. And we're going to make sure these things are. So anyway, I guess. No, have your help. With my help, helping us working together, we're going to get a hell of a lot done for the American people. And we're going to make sure these things are. So anyway, I guess.
Joe tripping.
And we're going to make sure these things are. So anyway, I guess if I stand here long enough, all those folks in the back are going to die of sunstroke. But I'm not going to do that. Anyway, I tell you what, I got a young guy with me who is, if you're ever in a foxhole, you want him with you.
Now look, I told y'all he bought reinforcements this time because they were talking about him, and y'all see he was stumbling over his words tonight. So this dude right here, I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is, but he gonna try to come up there and be like a football coach, but it's corny as hell. But kudos to Joe because he knew he needed other people to talk for him. Watch this dude try to talk for Joe. And then it's going to be a lady, too.
Senator Fetterman.
Oh, he a senator.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Here's how soldiers eliminate mosquitoes around them in just 90 seconds or less. This simple but brilliant trick.
I just want to say, how many union members here?
What the
Sacred union.
This is how he started his speech.
I just want to say, how many union members here? The sacred union way of life. There's one president that's going to protect that, and he stood up for it every time right there. And now, look at the size of this crowd. Look at the size of this crowd. That's not some kind of narrative that you don't see enough of that. And now I am about to point to the only person that's ever ass in an election right now.
Look at Joe. Yeah.
I hope the media is hearing that. Remind you that. Humiliated Trump, broke him, and he had to lie about it. And his minions had to repeat that, and they all got charged and convicted of that. Fox had to cut a check, $100 million, trying to talk about those kinds of lies.
See, the message, Senator, we're going to need you to be a little more aggressive in not corny. Better than Joe, though.
The media is hearing that. Remind you that. Humiliated Trump, broke him, and he had to lie about it. And his minions had to repeat that, and they all got charged and convicted of that. Fox had to cut a check for $800 million trying to talk about those kinds of lies.
Damn, huh?
I am proud to stand right here next to this president right now. He's president. He's your president.
He's trying to rally him up.
Yeah.
Look.
4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. Yeah, let's talk about 4 years ago. We were all, we were hoarding the toilet paper.
So, brother, what's happening, man? Just this entertains me, bro. I can't help it. It's like grumpy old men. It's
4 more years. 4 more years. Yeah, let's talk about 4 years ago. We were all, we were hoarding the toilet paper.
We was hoarding toilet
paper. We'd all be on some big Zoom right now, but we're right here right now. Remember what that? How great was I 4 years ago?
Appreciate you.
4 years. You want 4 more years of that mess and that kind of chaos. Now a man is obsessed with revenge. You want that? You know what his plan 2025 is? His plan is retirement, and he's going to put him down just like he's did it before 2020, and he's going to do this right now. Joe Biden has held every line.
Appreciate the super chat, bro. We got to make a couple dollars in here some kind of way, because these presidents, they need to just send reparations. We got to hustle it up on YouTube, man.
4 more years. 4 more years. Yeah, let's talk about 4 years ago. We were all, we were hoarding the toilet paper. We'd all be on some big Zoom right now, but we're right here right now. Remember what that was like? How great was I 4 years ago? You want 4 years, you want 4 more years of that mess and that kind of chaos? Now a man is obsessed with revenge. You want that? You know what his plan 2025 is? His plan is retirement, and he's going to put him down just like he's did it before in 2020, and he's going to do this right now. Joe Biden.
Y'all let me know if he talked better than Joe. His speech is better than Joe's. Not speech like what he pronounced his words better than Joe. But I don't think he was the right one to be speaking. Y'all let me know. He is just corny. It ain't coming out right. Y'all hit the like button, man. The like button is free. Hit the like button.
And that kind of chaos. Now a man is obsessed with revenge. You want that? You know what his plan 2025 is? His plan is retirement, and he's going to put him down just like he's did it before in 2020, and he's going to do this right now. Joe Biden has held every line. 2 wars, a pandemic. Look at our economy. All of those experts were going to say it's going to be a recession. And oh no, we don't know. But it's like now our economy is the envy of the world right now. A couple days ago, 200,000 new jobs right now. This guy right here. Like I said, I'm proud to be here, and I want to thank all of you for showing up. And this is the conversation I'm proud to have between now and November, because that's our guy, and that's what it's going to say.
That's our guy. Okay, now here come the lady. Watch this lady. I told you I back up. Oh, what's her name?
Madeline.
Madeline. I don't know who Madeline is, but I didn't know that was the senator. He was whatever. At least Joe just let people speak for him so they wouldn't make fun of him. But these people who talking for him, Joe should let, I don't know if, let's just watch.
Mr. President, it is so hard to follow you. And then you put me behind Senator Fetterman? Are you kidding me? Hi, everybody. My name is Madeline Dean. I'm a member of Congress. Member of Congress from the Philly suburbs. I see some of my friends here. I have friends here because I had the of serving here for 6.5 years in the Pennsylvania House. In the seat, I might remind you, that was Josh Shapiro's. Lucky me. But now I have been 5.5 years in Congress. I have had the opportunity, the honor, the historic honor of serving alongside this president for 3.5 of those years. What an amazing run. take a look at what has been accomplished under this president. And I can tell you close up and personally, the contrast couldn't be greater. I served 2 years before you became president with the former guy. They were
okay. So she served 2 years under Trump before Biden came. Whoever that's her name, Madeline.
Very dark days in our country. We cannot go back. It would only be worse. And I always say to people, we have two people who would be the nominees for president. We've seen them both perform as president. One with utter integrity, intellect, experience, wisdom. A heart bigger than all of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And the other so seeded with corruption, self-serving, corrosiveness, criminality.
See, Joe couldn't have said corrosiveness. He wouldn't have thought of that word because Joe, he 82. So just these the people talking for Joe today.
Self-serving to the core, doesn't know service at all. He knows only service to himself. So take a look at the records. I know you all know it, but this man knows exactly what he's doing. And we cannot risk going back. I see signs back here about our freedoms, our democracy. Remember, all of the freedoms you're fighting for, that we are fighting for, stem from our democracy. I was there on January the 6th. I was taken out in a gas mask, where we were going or who would be harmed or killed.
Okay, so she was there on the 6th. She was a year. They didn't snatch her up with Pelosi. Did you get snatched up, Madeline?
Fighting for stem from our democracy. I was there on January the 6th. I was taken out in a gas mask. I didn't know where we were going or who would be harmed or killed. I watched as Trump supporters, incited by that, went to the Capitol and used Trump flags and grotesquely used American flags to beat police officers, to maim them. 5 then died. Democracy's on the line. There's no greater patriot than Joe Biden to serve us. Thank you.
Well, I don't think Joe gonna say nothing. I think he's hungry.
Now, since I'm in Harrisburg.
Hey, folks, I'm no advertising spokesperson.
We know you ain't.
There's not going to be any bomb rockets or fireworks in this.
With Joe talking about.
The location of the governor. We got a lieutenant governor here. Come.
See, Joe ain't doing the talking.
Mr. President. Are you all fired up?
Now look at that. Black man come in. See how you start a speech? Watch this. I'm just showing y'all. I ain't trying to say nothing wrong. Just yeah. Y'all seen the senator and the Madeline lady. Yeah. Now watch this. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. Are you all fired up? Are you ready to re-elect Joe Biden? Look, I'm going to make it real clear and simple. There's so many young people that I see in the audience here today. And before we came out, I was telling the president about 10 months ago, I was honored to become a dad for the first time. Look, that's what this election is about. This election is about making sure we have a president who cares about each and every one of us, making sure that we have a president who believes in the promise of America, and making sure that we have a president who will always stand up for our fundamental rights and our fundamental freedoms. I want my daughter to have the same rights that her mother came into the world with and have the same ability to live the American dream.
Joe might need
I trust Joe Biden with my daughter's future. So what we need to do as Democrats, we need to not worry, we need to work. It's time for us to get on the doors, and you know what's gonna happen if we do that? We're gonna win. We're gonna re-elect Joe Biden. We're gonna send Patty Kim to the state Senate. We're gonna expand a Democratic majority in the state House, and we're gonna deliver for working class people.
See, Joe might need to bring him with him for a hype man.
I always stand up for our fundamental rights and our fundamental freedoms. I want my daughter to have the same rights that her mother came into the world with and have the same ability to live the American dream. I trust Joe Biden with my daughter's future. So what we need to do as Democrats, we need to not worry, we need to work. It's time for us to get on the doors, and you know what's gonna happen if we do that? We're gonna win. We're gonna re-elect Joe Biden. We're gonna send Patty Kim to the state Senate. We're gonna expand the Democratic majority in the state House, and we're gonna deliver for working class people.
Now, see, I don't know if none of that gonna happen, but all I'm saying is y'all hit the like button. It's too many of y'all in here. The numbers ain't matching up. It's free. Hit the like button, come back. When somebody talking, you want to be able to believe them, what they saying. Like, you want to be able to believe them. The black dude, the only dude sound believable that Joe had speak for him today. Watch this. Joe ready to go eat. Y'all watch this. Joe is not finna try to talk or nothing. He trying to go eat.
Thank you. Folks, with your permission, I'm going to find out whether you have any ice cream. You know, isn't it really dull when you have a president known for two things? Ray-Ban sunglasses and chocolate chip ice cream. But look, folks, I want to say hi to all of you. We're not going to make this any more formal than we already have.
Get out of there,
Joe.
Joe.
Mic down unless one of you still want to make a speech. And with that, why don't we get something to eat, okay?
Good Joe say get something to eat. He ain't trying to talk. He is not trying to talk. He did the smartest thing he could. They played music the rest of that one. Hold on, what is the other one? So that's what was that? 1, 2, 3, he had 3 people speak for him in them. Now hold on, where's this? Where's the one when he history? I see the one when he said several top house Democrat. Oh no, that's Ned Clown. No.
Bill Haben, I believe that it was heaven sent. I was away from school for a while.
You know, Mr. Felton, thank you for that introduction and moving.
Okay, now look, Joe is in the this like a church or something. But he made sure they had the black community with him, boy. Joe is Joe is pulling out all the tricks that he can right now, boy. He made sure he got him with. But I still want to know where the hell Kamala at. Her ass is fired.
You know,
watch this.
Mr. Felton, thank you for that introduction and moving sermon. And thank you, this incredible congregation, for welcoming me as you have. It really means a lot. Across the way in Delaware, I attended morning mass in my church and head to Sunday services at black church, as I said early on.
See, black church. He had it to Joe. You know, I attended Sunday service. I went to a black church. Listen, Joe throwing out all the punches. Look, listen. He had a black church right now.
Across the way in Delaware, I attended morning mass in my church and head to Sunday services at black church, as I said early on. I've always felt the power of your faith in good times and in tough times. The fact is, the scripture says, all things work together for good to those who love God and are called according to his purpose.
Joe said, I'm going in this black church and I'm going to talk about God. As long as I talk about God, I'm going to yell. They not going to boo me. They not going to. That's the same. Joe is pulling out the tricks. Joe on their ass. He got people speaking for him and some more shit. Joe said he ain't dropping out.
Fact is, the scripture says, all things work together for good to those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Our purpose is to serve others. That's our purpose. To know everyone is entitled to be treated with dignity and respect. To know faith without works is dead. We're all called to be doers of the world. In this nation, that means keeping our eyes on the North Star, the very idea of America, that we're all created equal in the image of God, and deserve to be treated with dignity and respect our entire lives. We've never fully lived up to that, but we've never fully walked away from it either.
Well, what that mean,
That's because of you and generations before you who led the church from slavery to freedom.
See, he had to throw the slavery and all that in. He in the black church. I told y'all, Joe pulling out the punch. Y'all not hitting this like button. These numbers ain't adding up. What I got? Trolls in my... Take a second, hit the like button. Then we're going to start the video again. These numbers ain't matching up. YouTube, that's how YouTube work. It's free. It don't cost nothing to hit the like button. Get your ass out of here if you can't hit the like button. God damn, it ain't like you got to send a super chat or a sticker. I'm trying to show y'all Joe is putting out all the tricks. Joe said, yeah, we got y'all out of this good y'all got out of slavery. And Joe just talking for it.
North Star, the very idea of America, that we're all created equal in the image of God and deserve to be treated with dignity and respect our entire lives. We've never fully lived up to that, but we've never fully walked away from it either. And that's because of you and generations before you who led the church from slavery to freedom. Always praying, always believing that joy cometh in the morning.
Because we pray as black people, Joe.
In my life, and as your president, I've tried to walk my faith. To get us through the pandemic that claimed 1 million loved ones and left 8 million people.
Well, why you stop the stimulus payments, Joe? That's what all the black folk want to know. I know I can't speak for nobody else. Joe, send the money, reparations, Joe. You can win, Joe. All you gotta do is say reparations first day I come in there. Joe don't listen too well, and somebody on his team ain't telling him right.
Baby, the joy cometh in the morning. You've never given up. In my life, and as your president, I've tried to walk my faith. To get us through the pandemic because of someone they lost. To ensure that the economy has the lowest black unemployment and more black small businesses in decades. To rebuild and ensure black America has a peace of mind that comes with health care for everybody. To ensure you can follow your dreams without the burden of student debt.
See, he keeps talking about this student debt shit, man. Joe, I said it last time. Just send everybody checks, Joe. And if they want to pay their student loans back, they'll pay them back. We don't give a damn about them student loans. We wasn't paying them before. We ain't gonna pay them now. Some goddamn checks. Reparations, Joe. I'm telling you how to win. You ain't listening.
To rebuild and ensure black America has a peace of mind that comes with health care for everybody. To ensure you can follow your dreams without the burden of student debt. To make housing affordable, help more black families build wealth and pass it on to future generations. Keep our community safe by getting weapons of war off our streets.
Joe, they getting Drakes everywhere. It don't matter what you do. You can't keep them off the streets. This is it's Joe. Reparations, Joe. Listen to me. Just stick to reparations.
To make housing affordable, help more black families build wealth and pass it on to future generations. To keep our community safe by getting weapons of war off our streets. To give hate no safe harbor. While there are those who want to...
You know, bed, my boy. Yeah, go on get some sleep. This entertains me, bro. Don't let me keep you up. I don't know what it is about these two, but it's like watching the movies, the grumpy old men. All you gotta do is watch. I cry laughing watching this, bro. I really enjoyed it. Come from everything I got to do for the day, and I come and I smoke and watch this, and I get as high as I can and laugh my ass off. I'm entertained. Don't let me keep you up on it.
Hey, history. Kamala and I want to make it.
Hold on, he said him and Kamala. That's the first time you said Kamala, Joe. Where is she?
To ensure you can follow your dreams without the burden of student debt.
There you go, that student debt shit again. Hey, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button. It's not hard, bro. You just click, hit the like button and come right back to the chat. Thank you.
To make housing affordable. Help more black families build wealth and pass it on to future generations.
Well, prove it, Joe.
To keep our community safe by getting weapons of war off our streets.
You ain't gonna get them off the street, Joe. They're out of here.
To give hate no safe harbor. While there are those who want to erase history, Kamala and I want to make it. Because black history is American history.
Look at Joe catering to the black folk. He trying to cater to us. Go ahead, Joe. You trying.
Our streets. To give hate no safe harbor. While there are those who want to erase history, Kamala and I want to make it. Because black history is American history.
Reparations then, Joe. See, black church.
Of course, there's more to do to deliver jobs and justice. There's more to do. But above all, we need to protect our rights, the rights of all Americans, to make sure democracy works for you. Folks, I know with every fiber of my being, I know I won't look like I'm 40 years old, but I've been around a little bit. Bishop and I were talking about that. Check turn 40. Well, all kidding aside, you know, I've been doing this a long time. And I, honest to God, have never more optimistic about America's future if we stick together.
So, reparations, Joe. Just talk about reparations.
I really mean it. Here's what else I've learned, and many of you have learned. You walk your faith as well. We're all imperfect beings. We don't know where or what fate will deliver us to or when. What we do know is that we can seek a life of light, hope, love, and truth, no matter what. We can seek that life. Take all of our experiences and give everything we have to work together. Because when we do, you can't stop us. I mean it sincerely. I'm about to host the NATO nations in Washington. We put them together. We've done. The world's looking to us.
What?
Not a joke. The world is looking to America, not to carry their burden, but to lead their hopes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be inclined to go on longer than I should here, so I'm not going to.
See, Joe,
I just want to
do
say,
all that talking this time.
I think that we just have to work together.
Look, see, he know he in the black church, because black folks are going to take your time, baby. You hit a lady in the back. Hold on.
I'm not going to be inclined to lead their hopes. It's looking to America, not to carry their burden, but to lead their hopes.
He gets stuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be inclined to go on longer than I should here, so I'm not going to. But I just want to say, look, I think that
take your time, baby.
We just have to work together.
Joe ain't gonna look, they done crunk him up.
When I ran the first time for president, I said something basic. I said we have to bring back dignity and hope in America. Number one. Number two, we have to give working class and middle class people like the I came from a shot and build an economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down.
Somebody, see, that's what I'm saying. What Joe described as middle class, and he didn't say it was middle class. He said a 4-bedroom was like poverty. He don't know how his parents did it. I don't, a 4-bed, that's, I hate to tell you, Joe, but black folks, we stay in 4-bedroom, 5-bedrooms and have like 8, 9 people in there and have plenty of room. We've been doing that for like, hundreds of years. What you mean you don't know how your parents did it?
And thirdly, We must unite America again. That's my goal. That's what we're going to do. God bless you all, and may God direct our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Joe forgot to say God bless America. He said the truth. He forgot what the...
Up, not the top down. And thirdly, we must unite America again. That's my goal. That's what we're going to do. God bless you all, and may God direct our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Jose, may God bless the troops. Yeah, the troops. Shit. Look, Joe trying to find his way off the stage. This is not... Look how he walk.
Thank you.
Joe is trying to... Look. He don't know. Where do I go? Wait, somebody help me now. Is that Tyler Perry? Nah, that ain't Tyler. See, that's the river.
Hello, I'm Dana Bash in Washington. That was President Biden speaking at the Mount Airy Church of God in Christ, a prominent Black church in Philadelphia. The parishioners there are a key part of Biden's coalition, and you just heard there, they gave him an enthusiastic welcome this morning.
God knew President Biden needs some love, and God sent him here today so that we can
see that. That's what Joe wanted right there. He knew he had to go to the Black church. They was going to embrace him, tell him, take your time, baby. Listen to what they going to lift Joe up in prayer.
Some love.
Right.
And God knew.
Fantastic welcome this morning.
God knew President Biden needs some love, and God sent him here today so that we can show him. Come on, let's show him some love.
Look, Joe,
did not come to beat up on you, to put you down, to criticize you, to magnify your flaws or mistakes. We come to love you.
Welcome to Black Church.
That was just one stop on the president's swing state tour this week. He's expected to visit Michigan on Friday as he tries to
Joe going to every
calls
Black church he can go to. He going to Michigan, he going to Detroit.
Race, even as there are some new signs that Democratic opposition to his candidacy is growing. I want to bring in two very well-connected Democrats, CNN political commentators, Van
Now, this is the part that be messing me up. This don't be Republicans that all come in and say stuff about Joe. This be Democrats and Republicans. Van John, y'all know who Van John is. His name, watch it.
And Bakari Sellers, nice to see you both. First and foremost, I'm sure you were able to listen.
My likes ain't adding up. Y'all gotta hit the like button. It's stupid. I done said it about 4 times. I don't get it. It's free. Ain't haul ass if you can't do that. I'm trying to see what this talking about. This is entertaining to me.
Listen to what President Biden just said, talking about all of the reasons why he believes he should be president again, but then at the end joking that he only looks 40 years old and that he's never been more optimistic if we stick together. Van, I'll start with you.
Well, look, I mean, he's still in the race and he's doing what he's supposed to do. I'm glad to see him out there. I'm glad he's doing interviews. I'm glad he's doing all those things. The challenge is that the numbers are not encouraging and the party is no longer united. You already have 4 House Democrats who are saying step down. You're going to have more. You're going to have more. This week, unfortunately, you're going to have the split screen of the president having, NATO allies here and people in his own party looking at this math. As David Axelrod said, this time 4 years ago, Biden was up 10. He's down 6. We needed that debate to turn things around. It did turn things around in a negative direction. And so I think that he's going to have to look in his heart. This is a party that loves him. I've never heard so many people say about a politician, I love this man. Not just I respect him, not just I admire him. I love Joe Biden. He is beloved in this party, and yet he may not be able to get us across the finish line. And I think people are hoping that he will recognize we're running Kamala Harris for president right now. That's who we're running. Nobody believes Joe Biden's going to be president in 4 years. And so we're in the worst possible world because she can't defend herself. She has to defend him. We can't defend her. We have to defend him. If we're basically running Kamala Harris anyway, let's run Kamala Harris and let her get out there and defend herself.
We ain't seen Kamala. That's what I've been saying. Where is Kamala? Where the hell is Kamala? We ain't seen, she ain't helped Joe. Y'all just watch 3 people speak for Joe. 3 people that only one of them needed to be speaking for him. But where is she? Because that's the truth. Something happened to Jordan, her ass president. And, yeah. So I'm really confused because he just said we really running is Kamala because they know Joe ain't gonna be around. Like they know some inside information. I don't know.
Herself, she has to defend him. We can't defend her. We have to defend him. If we're basically running Kamala Harris anyway, let's run Kamala Harris and let her get out there and defend herself and accept that's where we are. The reality is we are running Kamala Harris for president one way or the other. I'd rather run her for president in the strongest way rather than the weakest way.
Bakari?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that my good friends David Axelrod and Van Jones are articulating very good points. But the fact is that's just not where we are. And we are in a position right now where Joe Biden is the president of the United States and Joe Biden is running for re-election. Everything else is conjecture. I was at Essence this weekend with Kamala Harris. I was with her a couple of weeks ago. The vibes.
See, yeah, Kamala at the damn Essence Festival. She ain't worried about Joe. What? Man, come on, man. Come on. Kamala she's trying to go see Lil Wayne, man.
Or what the vibes were. They were high, enthusiastic, not just about the vice president, but about going out and voting. And I think what people are missing outside of DC or when you're talking to other journalists is that when you go out into the streets of America, I was fishing and caught about 8 crappie last week in Orangeburg County with my good friend Jared Lodeholt and his uncle. And we were just sitting back there having a conversation, just a group of black men. And everybody was resigned to the fact that, look, we're going to go out and do what we have to do and vote for Joe Biden, because I think that people miss the mark when they make this about Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Because for many of us who find our communities in a place of survival so often, you're not voting for the man. You're voting for the ideals. You're voting for the administration. You're voting for the things they can push forth. And so I'll let others have the conjecture about the gamesmanship and of who's going to be the nominee and when and where. I have to live in the reality that Joe Biden is the nominee now, and he looks to be the nominee for the future. And he's going to be our horse in November. I mean, we can have all those other conversations, but right now, I've had conversations with people who are running the convention. I've had conversations with people who are DNC members. He's not going anywhere. I've had conversations with the White House. He's not going anywhere. And so we need to either choose Donald Trump, choose Joe Biden, or choose the couch. Everything else is somewhat wasted energy.
I'm gonna stick with the couch. I'm gonna stick with the couch.
And we have about 50 seconds left. Go for it. Respond, please.
I do see it differently in terms of, I'm also talking to people on the ground, including places like Michigan, which is must win. I can't find a single person who wants Joe Biden to stay on the ticket, and I'm looking. Yes, there are people who realize if it comes down to it, I'll vote for a wet Elmo doll and running with a dead skunk over Trump. I think a lot of people are going to do that.
If you're turning 65 or beyond, you're going to want to watch this. There are a lot of people today that are Medicare eligible.
I mean, but that's kind of how you won in the first place. Like, you had to make a decision. It ain't like, hold on, let me find this. Where's Mars? When he got there. Because they on him, like, it ain't just Republicans, it's, let me see, they talking about on this one. They had him under a microscope, like every time. But I be watching too. The words don't come out right, so people.
Don Calloway, host of the Caucus Room podcast and CEO of Pine Street Strategies, along with Republican strategist Susan Del Percio.
So you say every word, every move under a microscope. The strategist says Biden has no, margin for error anymore. He ain't had no margin anyway.
And former Republican Congressman David Jolly, I'm happy to say here in studio with me, both of the latter, MSNBC political analysts. And I'm happy to welcome my Sunday family, but it's a serious Sunday, guys. Let's get to the reaction from you, first of all, David. Seth Moulton, you heard it all. What's your reaction to what he said?
I served with Seth. He's one of the more thoughtful, independent-minded members, and that's a good thing. He challenged Nancy Pelosi in 2018 for Speaker. He ran for president in 2020. This is somebody who's really following his own North Star, if you will. And so I think we're going to hear a lot of that from members on the Hill this week. But as he acknowledged, maybe after the Stephanopoulos interview, maybe there won't be too many voices. Here's my biggest takeaway about what we're about to see this week. And I say this as a House member, not about Seth. House members don't matter in this process at all, at all. Consider Donald Trump. Most of his cabinet has said they won't support him. His own vice president, Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the House. The people far more senior than House members in Donald Trump's world have said he shouldn't run, and Donald Trump's not listening. Joe Biden's not going to listen to House members. I think Joe Biden has told us he's running. If there was an opportunity.
I think he told you. Joe said he ain't dropping out the race. He said it yesterday. Joe drank a case of Red Bull yesterday, got a Biden pack, Hunter pack, and he told y'all he ain't dropping out of nothing.
Opportunity for Democrats to reconsider this. It was during the primary. It really wasn't now. Look, we talked last week. I left unsettled from the debate. I really did. I'm concerned about our sitting president. But Joe Biden has said, trust me, I can do this. I think he deserves our trust, and we owe it to him to say, okay, we'll go with you. If Democrats are worried about the polls, sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, listen, we've heard him say, and his family members say, Jill said it as well, we're not going to let 3.5 years be defined by 90 minutes in a debate. So that's the point from them. John, your thoughts on this? Yeah. Get it.
You know, David is right about a lot of things. Gosh, there's so many. But not this. Multiple interview. Well, let's start with the brass tacks. I think it's probably time for Joe Biden to step aside, given what we're seeing out of the national polls, as well as Democratic constituencies. Not House members, but Democratic constituencies across the country are very concerned about whether or not he can win. And I think that it's important to distinguish the Biden camp, Joe Biden's people who have held him up over the last 50 years of his political career. They are not the leaders of the Democratic Party. They are two very distinct camps. So I think the Democratic Party leadership, Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, the leaders in the Senate are going to have Jamie Harrison. They're going to have a real decision to make. And I would implore them to do it within the next week. And their decision supersedes that of the Joe Biden camp. I have a lot of problems with what Seth Moulton just said. David just said he ran for president, and that's true. So Seth Moulton absolutely knows how the delegates and the insider business of the Democratic Party works. So he absolutely knows that there is no mechanism to have some type of liberal Hunger Games to give the nomination to anybody other than Kamala Harris. And I'm going to have some real frustrations, Alex, with over the next 6 weeks with my fellow Democrats if you try to give it to anybody but the sitting vice president, because fundamentally we believe that the Biden administration has been successful. And if you believe that, then you have to believe that the vice president has been an integral part of that. She is the only reasonable nominee for the very real possibility that Joe Biden has to step aside.
See, that's supposed to be automatic. If you're the vice president and the president got to step down for any reason, something happened, that's why you the vice president. So now your ass is the president. Kamala ass ain't nowhere to be found. So I feel him trying to take up for her, but niggas, she at the Esther's Festival and Joe getting his ass whooped.
Let me ask you, Susan.
Hit the like button. Can y'all understand English? Or y'all just in here to troll? The like button free. Hit the like button. You just get out the chat for a minute, hit the like button, go back to the damn chat. It's simple. It's free.
What you laid out before Biden's interview on Friday, the 9 things that he needed to do to quiet the doubters, that he must not mention jet lag or having a cold during the debate, but he said he had a cold. You also said he should speak directly and transparently about his health, which he arguably did not do. What kind of score do you give him?
At best, a D. I think he really failed the test, but he didn't completely fail it in that he didn't have people feeling that much worse about his performance compared to the. But, I just want to go to what both David and Don said. I agree with David that 5 members of the House of Representatives don't change the equation, but 55 do. It opens up a window if there are a bunch of members who come out, especially from swing states. And the reason it matters is it's the narrative that is in the media. It's the narrative about Joe Biden. And here's one of my biggest concerns about Joe Biden, which I would say about all of us. None of us are always perfect, but going forward, every single move that Joe Biden makes, every single word is going to be held under a microscope. And there is no way any of us could survive that. And my concern is that I'm not sure how he's going to campaign in 3 months if the last 10 days are any indication. He's not getting better with rest.
Joe said he had a cold. Woman.
I would say this, I hope that any Democrat who's looking for him to step down, any elected official, will wait until after NATO. I don't think we should undermine our president during the NATO summit. I think that's very disrespectful and it hurts the United States. So I think we're going to see that timing come into play. But I just don't know how Joe Biden survives this, especially the scrutiny going forward.
On that scrutiny point, let me just ask you, Susan, as a former Republican, on this panel, how is it that Donald Trump escapes that kind of scrutiny? What is it that he can lie blatantly and he can say things about, I don't know, batteries and sharks and have everybody clapping and saying, yeah, we want this guy for president?
Well, I'm still a Republican. I think David's the former Republican and is now an
Oh, I thought you were reformed as well. Pardon me.
No,
you're not a Trumpian. That I'll say.
I've never been for Donald Trump, not one moment since he came down the steps in Trump Tower. I've been working against him since that day. But I will say this: I do know the people in my party, and I know what they respond to, and most of it is fear. They're afraid of him coming after them. It's inexcusable. I can't tell you why they do this, in a rational term, but you're right. Donald Trump makes up lies, schemes, is a convicted felon.
I know.
And that's not enough.
All right.
And that's not enough.
All right. Let me ask you, John, about Senator Peter Welch, who spoke with my colleague Ali Velshi today, saying the decision certainly was Biden's to make, and saying that responded rather to Biden, saying that he would drop out only if the Lord Almighty told him to do it. Take a listen.
Bottom line, this is not a decision for Lord Almighty. This is a real world decision for real world people in politics and who care about our country to decide what we think is the best path forward. And it has to be the best path to give us the best chance of keeping Donald Trump in Project 2025 out of the White House.
Is there something you can think of to say to Joe Biden that if the goal is just let's keep Donald Trump out of the White House, how do you convince Joe Biden that's what needs to be done? You need to step aside.
Joe Biden is a man of incredible integrity, very high dignity, and he cares about legacy and American history. The proper thing to do is to characterize him as an honorable character in the tradition of George Washington, in the tradition of Lyndon Baines Johnson, who as a Senate institutionalist, Joe Biden has tremendous respect for the legacy of LBJ. Hey, this was not my time. I am probably not the guy to carry us forward for the next 4 years, but I did an awful job of bringing this country together in the wake of the absolutely worst.
Joe is not going to do that. Joe told y'all yesterday, he ain't dropping out the race. He not doing it.
President, and I will step aside now to give my legacy. I will give my vice president, who has been a part of my legacy, an opportunity to not become the first female president, not become the second African-American president, but to extend the legacy of what's right and defending this country from fascism, much of which is planning to be codified in Project 2025. The honorable thing, the righteous thing, and the legacy-preserving thing would be for Joe Biden to step aside and let the Democrats carry forward a new nominee.
Feeling tied down by your office lease? Can't seem to fill your workspace? Introducing KG'z.
Shut up.
Okay. David, quickly, we're going to take a look at some numbers. Here we've got the latest Bloomberg Morning Consult poll, all right? This one shows a very tight race. You've got Trump still leading in 5 of 7 key swing states, but only one, Pennsylvania, is outside the poll's margin of error, right? So this thing is tight. Trump leads Biden by 2 points in the swing states. It is the smallest gap since October, so that's been a while, but 55% Biden probably or definitely should not continue his campaign. What do you make of the polls? And is it a good thing that he's not as behind as one would think he might be after the debate? I'm looking for some silver lining here.
Well, I think it speaks to our rigid partisanship in the country. We're deeply divided and we perform as Republicans and Democrats. And look, largely the only people who beat Donald Trump in current polls, this snapshot, are Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, and Michelle Obama. Everybody else, Shapiro, Whitmer, and others still continue to trail. I think we're conflating a lot in this moment as a country. Questions of the president's fitness and questions of his polling. On fitness, you got 2 options. You can believe your eyes at the Thursday debate a week ago, or you can believe Joe Biden's word that he says he can do this. On polling, if the issue is polling, that's a question for Democrats to figure out if they want to replace their nominee. And I'd say there's 2 important dynamics. The one consistent reporting in all of this is that Joe Biden doesn't believe the polls, doesn't believe the pundits, doesn't believe, frankly, Democratic leaders across the country. He believes his gut, and he says, I'm not getting out of the race. That is critically important in this moment. And then the second, something that has not been talked about, the mechanics of replacing him.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, Trump got Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, which is where Joe was at today. And then Joe got Wisconsin. Wait. 43, 44. Yeah.
Piece that hasn't been talked about is Republicans will sue in virtually every state that matters. Not all 50 states, but they're going to sue the moment Democrats try to make this move to block access to the ballot of whoever.
Like a debate and switch or something?
Well, listen, ballot access rules are state controlled.
Okay.
So they will choose about 20 states that really matter, and they will tie this up in the courts and go all the way to the Supreme Court before November to say you cannot replace Joe Biden on the ballot. They won't win many of them, but if they win a couple critical states, that matters to the presidency. So I'm not a Democrat, as I said last week. If you're going to replace Joe Biden because of the polls, there's a lot of work that's got to get done.
Okay. Well, you guys are my Sunday family, Republican, Democrat, Independent. I simply switch that. You're the Democrat, Dale. You know, as they go across the screen there. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Good to see you all.
Hey there, MSNBC.
Hold on, let me see what this other one is. It's one more than I had. Watch. Well, they own Joe. Well, hit the like button if you ain't hit it. This gotta be it right here. Hold up. Concerns. Let me see how Joni is with Jill. Catastrophic disaster. What? No. Hey man, sub if you ain't.
Zorro.com knows that every job is important. It takes a lot to run a business. And for more than 10 years.
Language that I don't be speaking. Don't you file now and tell the joke. There you go. Joe walking down the stairs. Shit, Jill ain't helping him. Okay, Joe. Joe Biden campaign is bleeding in front of us. What happened?
Let's bring in Karl Rove, a Fox News contributor and former Deputy White House Chief of Staff. Karl, really good to see you today. It's really hard to overstate how critical the next...
I don't know if I want to mess with Fox News. They be on some... Senator says if Biden steps aside, it's a dramatically different race for Trump. Duh. What would happen if... Man, shout out to Tan there. And this Joe said he need more sleep. I remember this. I don't want to see this. He said he need more
going
sleep.
to do is he's going to make sure that he's in the before we get into this being taken from our president of the United States of America, preventative measures are that he's now going to make the transition. If you vote him into office because he's not getting enough sleep, that's what he said. He said he messed up, he's not getting enough sleep. He's going to now be in the bed by 8 p.m.
He laughing, but this what Joe said for real. He said he gonna be in the bed by 8 p.m. every night now.
He's going to now be in the bed by 8 p.m. Yeah, I'm telling you, you can't make this up. This is a real thing. The president said that he's going to change his schedule to make sure that his cognitive functions are not going to continue to go down, and he's going to be a better person, and he's going to be prepared next time. And one of the things that he's going to do is he's going to make sure that he's in the bed by 8 p.m. So if something happens after 8 p.m., don't call him, call Kamala Harris, all right? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Latest now on the race for the White House as President Biden's re-election campaign is still doing damage control. Part of their plan may include more sleep for the president. The president's team has been filling his schedule, hoping to turn the corner on last week's debate performance. One of those events, a meeting with Democratic governors behind closed doors at the White House. And during that meeting, multiple reports say Biden told governors he doesn't get enough sleep and that he needs to curtail events after 8 p.m.
See? He said all he need to do is go to bed by 8 p.m. That's what Joe said.
We're going to get into this special meeting, and we're going to also look at it from the liberals' perspective. We're going to look at it from CNN's perspective. But he had a special meeting, and he was telling all of the Democratic governors, they had a special secret convening, and nobody even knew that was happening. So I'm sure that Brandon Johnson was there, Karen Bass was there, Atlanta Mayor Mr. Dickens was there, New York Governor Eric Adams was there, Mike Johnson was there, Shane Towell from Oakland was there. And so he had a special meeting, and he was basically telling them, listen, guys, we gonna need y'all's support, and y'all gonna have to hold me down, but let me just tell you something, big dog. One of the problems is I ain't getting no sleep. I gotta shut down everything by 8 p.m. That's a fact. That is literally a fact of what happens. Listen, y'all not gonna believe me. Y'all not gonna believe me, but we gonna get there.
Today at a 4th of July barbecue event for military members, the president repeated he's not dropping out of the race.
This could not be done without the family support. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, and I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Thank you. You got
Jesus Christ. When you can't even do like this, listen, you know it's bad. Let me tell you how I know that somebody is too old for the job. I've seen them. I've seen them on the job before, and so this is not nothing new. It was this woman, her name was Ethel. We was working in the plant. She was too old to be there, but she was, and Corporal Neville.
He said he got to go to bed by 8.
And what he did was we started to just go up to her and get in front of her. not dropping out, okay?
President Biden tonight celebrating our nation's history.
Happy Independence Day.
With his political future on the line. As sources tell NBC News, the next few days of his campaign are critical after last week's disastrous debate performance, which the president acknowledged in a radio interview that aired today.
So I screwed up. I made a mistake. That's 90 minutes on stage. Look at what I've done in 3.5 years.
Mr. Biden insisting he's committed to staying in the race.
You got me, man. I'm not going anywhere. All right.
The public confidence comes as NBC News has learned the president is privately torn between defiance and acceptance amid calls to step aside, according to 4 people familiar with her, signaling in some conversations with allies, aides, and family members that the blowback may grow too large to overcome.
Yeah, he just quit, he's quit into this.
Former President Trump made those false claims in a video he shared on social media, in which he also speculated over Vice President Kamala Harris becoming the Democratic nominee.
I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic.
Hey, listen, man, I don't care what y'all think about Trump. That's my president, man.
I told y'all it's entertaining. This ain't no regular presidential. This shit is like, I can't think of nothing else but the movie Grumpy Old Men. This is like watching that shit.
I know they want to fear monger. I know they want to sit here and say that, oh my God, Project 2025. We're going to get into that very next. Well, I'm going to mind it out. I'm going to try to understand it. Hey. Trump already got 47 on his shirt. He got 47 on his shirt. He on a golf course after waxing Joe Biden at the debate. And he said, dog, she's so bad.
It's about Kamala.
Oh! Yo, this country is in shambles. The Democrats are literally running ragged, and they're depending on boomers and Gen Xers and a bunch of fake mail-in ballots in order to keep these people in office. He said, dog, she's so bad. I never even seen this footage. I didn't even know that was.
I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic. It's so amazing. It's just so bad.
The Biden campaign slamming those comments, writing, "No, Donald. What is bad is running on a platform of your revenge and retribution." The VP and President Biden met last night with more than 20 Democratic governors, now rallying around his candidacy.
I believe in this man. I believe in his.
Oh, not the worst governor in the United States of America. Not the worst governor in the United States of America, Gavin Newsom, who can't even get his budget together with his own state. The guy that ran San Francisco into the ground, y'all voted him into office again. Listen, Gavin Newsom, by far, there is no worse governor in the United States of America than Gavin Newsom. None, zero, zilch, nada. We don't need your endorsement at all. But anyways, let's get over that. Let's go over to the secret meeting that he had, according to CNN, with all of the Democratic governors in order to get them to rally around him throughout this firestorm.
We're learning new details about what President Biden said to Democratic governors at last night's critical meeting at the White House. Sources now tell CNN the president said he needs more sleep and he plans to stop scheduling events after 8 p.m. Here now is Hawaii Governor Josh Green, a Democrat. He attended that meeting remotely. Governor, thank you for coming back on the show. We had
Josh, you the snitch. Democrats is not going to like the fact that you own the meeting. Josh Green, you are the weakest link. Josh is over here telling the business about what happened during the whole meeting between Biden and all of the Democratic governors in order to try to rally their states together.
Juwan just before the meeting. Now
they probably gonna be a little upset about that. I don't know. Josh, I don't know. I could picture they gonna be a little mad about that.
You're giving us the assessment after the meeting. So your questioning of President Biden is when he reportedly admitted to seeing a doctor in the days following the debate. Were you satisfied with his answer? And should the White House release more detailed information about his health?
Sure. Thank you for having me, and happy 4th of July. Look, I'm a physician, and so it was my place amongst the other governors, the Democratic governors, to ask the president just humbly, how are you, Mr. President?
Oh, okay. He's the physician. He's a physician. So is this who Joe was talking about? That he say be with him every day?
The Democratic governors to ask the president just humbly, how are you, Mr. President? Are you okay? Thursday, the debate day, you weren't who we are accustomed to seeing. The president reassured us. He did share with me, as I've shared, that he was exhausted, and he had done quite a lot of travel in the 2 weeks before, and he didn't make.
He had been home for over 11 days to prepare for the debate. He hadn't even been on the road.
He ate it too, Anton.
He had been home. How you still got jet lag 11 days after you didn't last flew? How you still got jet lag 11 days after you didn't last flew? He had been home for 11 days.
Look, I ain't making no excuses for Joe. I'm just saying. Even Trump almost 80. I don't know how long jet lag lasts when you 80, because I ain't. Look, hopefully I'll be blessed enough to see. I don't know. He might have still been jet lagged 11 days later. I don't know. He 82.
Any excuses about it. Exhaustion is very real for governors and for presidents. I can tell you, he gets up probably in the extreme wee hours of the morning to help our country, as do we all for our states. So it's not uncommon to have fatigue. That was what he shared, and I think that is pretty normal for an elderly gentleman who's 81, and it's pretty normal even for his opponent. So it was a pretty satisfying description of where he is. But I will tell you this, I'm not his physician. We were very satisfied to hear the president perked up, and he looked great just now addressing people about.
They gave him that compound V.
Yeah,
all my people in the chat that watch The Boys, I'm watching more TV. I'm having more fun. I was watching The Boys.
Me too, Anton. I'm watching stuff too, but he ain't giving. No, he drank a case of Red Bull and got Biden, Hunter pack, and yeah, he got a pep in his step.
Is that what's completely inappropriate? You know, we don't, as Americans, ask for access to other people's personal medical records.
Right, but this
that's
is the
not what
president
governors would
of the
do.
United States. Yeah.
Right, we're not supposed to ask for people's 1040s and their tax returns either, but they get that.
Of course, but you know, a bunch of governors are not going to ask to see your medical records, and so that's just not the case. And he did get a checkup. People are going to judge the president. They're going to judge the former president. I can say some blunt things with you if you'd like, which is to say
it.
Look, of course, he's going to have some moments. He's 81, but this is an 81-year-old who may drift periodically. He races ahead of his.
Yo, this governor, he's the Democratic governor of Hawaii. He's a physician. This guy just said, yo, you're the weakest link. This guy on CNN, on national television, just told us that our president, the person that is running for office, who's going to be even worse over the next 4 years than it was over the last 4 years, is going to drift.
I don't think he said nothing that's surprising. To me, look, I'm from Mississippi. When people, everybody I know that's 80-something years old, they almost talk like Joe. They 80-something, man. I ain't saying all of them, but that's. I'm just saying, man. They ain't respecting the age at all. I guess because Trump like 2 years younger than him. Trump ain't no spring chicken. He just, people age different.
It's going to drift. It's on Amazon. You're right. It's on Amazon Prime. My bad. I watched the first season. I'm on when not helping the situation at all by telling us that the president is going to drift periodically during the time that he's supposed to be running the entire nation.
May drift periodically. He races ahead of his words sometimes.
You mean his mouth can't keep up with his brain?
because
Hey,
that's
everybody
always
gonna
been
get
Joe.
80.
And
If you lucky enough to make it to 80, I want to see how many people be laughing. And I ain't taking up on. I told y'all I ain't got a dog in the race. I don't. It's like grumpy old men.
his brain. He has a personality that even attacks this president here on 4th of July, and people can judge that. This is a time where we're going to have to judge two gentlemen who are both around age 80 and see who's going to care more for the people of America. That's really what this comes down to, but we were glad to see the president yesterday.
Let me ask you, because the New York Times has some new reporting about a question, is part of your question during the meeting. Let's see, it says, after Governor Josh Green of Hawaii, a physician, asked Mr. Biden a question about the status of his health, Mr. Biden replied that his health was fine. It's just my brain, he added, according to...
Wait a minute.
Was fine. It's asked Mr. Biden a question about the status of his health. Mr. Biden replied that his health was fine. It's just my brain, he added. According to his health was fine.
My health fine is just my brain.
He's 81 years old, as opposed to his opponent has a malignant personality.
Joe say my health fine.
He has a personality that even attacks this president here on 4th of July, and people can judge that. This is a time where we're going to have to judge two gentlemen who are both around age 80 and see who's going to care more for the people of America. That's really what this comes down to, but we were glad to see the president yesterday.
Let me ask you, because the New York Times has some new reporting about a question, is part of your question during the meeting. Let's see, it says, after Governor Josh Green of Hawaii, a physician, asked Mr. Biden a question about the status of his health, Mr. Biden replied that his health was fine. It's just my brain, he added.
He's health fine. It's just my brain. Oh, you can't make this up. Why they printed that, man? They should have took that out. They know Joe ain't need to say that, man. Oh, man.
We are not living in this simulation where the governor of Hawaii, who was a physician, asked a question and the dude said, it's just my brain. But what the heck is we talking about? Are we really sitting here debating about who's the possibly best candidate to run the United States of America? This dude said it's just my brain. What the fuck? It's Friday. Ain't nobody at work. What the hell is y'all talking about? What do you mean it's just my brain? What? Are y'all honestly, for the people that's on the left, that's staunch supporters of the Democratic Party, that don't care nothing about whether or not the person got full cognitive ability to be able to communicate or even think straight, are y'all honestly considering voting for this guy? Are y'all honestly in your position say that he's gonna drift in and out accordingly? Be seated deep. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description.
Man, come on. They just
sure. To all Americans.
Room when he said it's just my brain. What's the vibe in the room?
She asked what the vibe.
How did you take it? What was the vibe in the room when he said it's just my brain? Just give us some color of what was going on. Bring us inside that room.
Sure. To all America, people have to be able to take a joke. This is absolutely a self-deprecating joke, which
this is not a joke.
This is not a joke for the president to make. You know, the difference is Joe Biden makes a self-deprecating joke because he's comfortable about that, as opposed to what we would hear from the former president, who would probably be saying things like, Trump's brain is great. Trump can pass any test. Trump's brain passed the MRI scan in the third.
Maybe we should also test him on that golf swing that he said that he still got.
Person. I mean, Biden was just kidding with us. And frankly, and I'm saying this as a physician, it is.
His wife is a physician.
significant ability to cognitively still be able to make a self-deprecating joke. So if anything, people do need to lighten up.
Are we literally judging the president on his ability to make a joke about himself?
No, I don't know. I told y'all it got me. I'm stuck on this now. So I holler at y'all next one. Whatever they do next, I'm watching. I can't help it. It's like comedy / drama / I don't know what else, but so I'm gonna watch it. So I'll catch y'all next. Hey man, look, this is very easy. If you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. Hit the like button. Both them free. I'ma holler at y'all. Long live Pimp C.